This is a recap for Saturday, Sunday, and today is Monday. It's been gray, rainy, drizzly, little hard rain, little light rain. I couldn't pass up those type of days to stay out there and work. I did not push myself, but I worked. Saturday, I completed a delivery. It paid $43. I delivered to someone's house. This is why you can't always expect a cash tip in addition to the tip on the app, because they did give a $25 tip. 25, 35, maybe it was a little more than that, because the payout was 43 and the base pay was only 10, but it was very local. It got me out Saturday, and Saturday I sucked it up. I worked some Grubhubs and Uber Eats, very local. I think I hit 90 miles Saturday, and I definitely broke 160. I remember tallying it up, and I broke 160 thinking, I broke 160. And to drive, 90 miles, that's pretty good. Sunday, I think I drove like 70 miles. Again, very local. I did ships. I didn't leave the house until like 1:30ish. And I just got out there and I said, well, I won't hurt myself, but I'm very focused and dedicated right now to banging out debt I've accumulated while I was buying valuable assets. It's time to become debt-free. By the end of the year, I want to be debt-free. That means everything. And start over and not lose any of the valuable assets I own. Utility crypto. If you follow me, you know. I am at the finish line. I'm just waiting for the right moment to cash out. I'm waiting to find out if we have to pay capital gains tax on the utility cryptos. I'm not going to sell all of them, but I'll probably sell 30 to 40% of my investments and wipe out my debt while I'm working the way I'm working. I mean, I'm living without. I'm really working hard here. Focused. $100 a day, that's my goal. Because I believe it will happen. I will become debt-free before the end of the year. I have to wait for the right moment. And another 2 to 3 months, my investments, I will, gain a profit and still have my entire, I call it an a la carte retirement. I'm not going to have to work for money anymore. If you really follow it and you do your time, and you do the time. I did. My valuable utility cryptos, somebody's going to pay me to use my use case cryptocurrencies for their liquidity. I think that's how it goes. And I'm paying attention. My investments will earn me enough money every single day, not even including all my little jobs I do on the side that I'm setting up to earn passive income. I gave a chunk of my life for that. And I'm ready. I didn't think I would have to go down this path one more time. This is it. I'll never have to do this again. So Sunday I did that. Now, Sunday I bumped into a handful of people. When I work locally, I shopped at a local Stop and Shop. I went there three times. And then I went to the Target in Levittown. And I think and I maybe squeezed in a few Grubhubs and stuff in between. Nothing major. But that's pretty much what I did Sunday. I shopped and I delivered locally. And you bump into people. And I have this stigma. I'm really tired of it. But of course, I'm respectful and kind and nice. But I feel like nothing's changed. And so much time has gone by. People know me as the local waitress. And when you go and work locally at a store like that on a Sunday, you're going to bump into people. And I didn't just bump into people that I served. I bumped into a couple of people I worked with at my last W-2 job. It was short-lived. I was only there a few years. I've said this before. That job was going to put me in an early grave. If I stayed, I'd be buried already. And I worked for pennies. And I earned the company a lot of money. Never again. But sometimes you have to learn a hard lesson like that to push yourself out of your comfort zone and fear zone. And I did. I got off track a little bit. So it's weird, that stigma of, you were such a great waitress. So we missed that place. I'm not going to mention the places because I don't like to be remembered like that anymore. It's not who I am. I haven't been that in years. I'm so ready to be looked at differently. And I'm really trying. But when you work in these gig apps and people see you shopping and working Shipt and working Spark and working Uber Eats and Grubhub, they keep you in that category. They don't know what's going on behind the scenes. It's very upsetting. To me, it is. However, I was respectful and nice. I feel I've changed so much and I still have that image. Today's Monday. I hung in there. I even came home. I went back out. I stayed very local. I shopped at the Target Express in Freeport, and I did a few more. Very local. That's it. I was going to be someplace else, but now I decided to stay here. And I hung in there all day. But again, I didn't hurt myself. I did speak with my friend Rob, and I did complete a delivery today. And I accepted it late last night, and they didn't know about the order. So they added $6.75 to my pay. So it paid $36.75. And I turned down 4 offers for today. They were either too far. I'm just not in the mood to give my time, set time aside and drive to New Hyde Park, or drive to the pickup, then New Hyde Park, or the pickup to, Jericho pickup to Port Washington for $30 and then come back home. Yeah, it's got to be 40 and up for me for that. And I'm going to stick to it. If it's very local, now today was last minute. It was local. I picked up in Hempstead, close Hempstead, and I delivered it 5 minutes away. I mean, it was on Merrick Avenue in Westbury. So to where I live, that's really close. So I hung in there and I did a lot of Shipts today. I really want to shop and deliver. And I'm doing it because I want to become debt-free. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I think I did it Thursday, too. I'm going to do it right now. $100 toward that one last big bill. I'm in it to win it. Let's bang that baby out. As long as I'm healthy and I can do it. But the stigma, it really bothered me yesterday, guys. But I am an independent contractor. I'm a WordPress website developer. So my friend Rob and I talked a little bit, and he delivered over $2,000 worth of food. He received, I think, $212 pay for that. And he also did other ones. He works Jackrabbit. He works Delivered That. He works Delivered. He does the big jobs. And this guy works. This guy hustles. And when we spoke, he was accepting DoorDash, Shop and Deliver. He lives out in middle of Suffolk County, and DoorDash works out there. He gets a lot of shop and delivers. I wish DoorDash sent that to me. I would have been a great shopper, but they closed down my account because I wasn't delivering enough. Well, I don't want to just pick up and deliver. I wanted the shops, and they didn't give it to me. They would have had one in here in Nassau County. I would have taken those shops. Now I'm working for the competition yet again. That's just the way it is. I missed all of the DoorDash stealing tips from their drivers. So that's my wrap up for Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I will be working my ass off this week, completing my taxes. I'm focused. I'm just doing and not thinking. I'm just doing. So until the next video clip. And I'm going to show a little clip of a video right here because this is what we're going through right now. I'm giving her a shout out. She's a great She's a great content creator. And I believe what we are living through right now is just a rinse and repeat cycle of what happens in the economy and the world. And we're just doing it again. So have a good week, and until the next video clip.
So today we're going back, way back. Today we walk through 4 generations, from the lost generation to boomers, to see if anyone actually cracked the code on a secure, dignified midlife. Now, part 2 of this series is going to pick up with Gen X through Gen Z, and then we're going to break down what each generation was promised, what actually happened, and how they survived it. Before we talk about how the system failed us, though, let's look at who it failed first and how loud it had to get before anyone even noticed. So let's rewind to the lost generation. They were born between 1883 and 1900. These were the people hitting their 50s during the Great Depression. Just as the job market collapsed, banks failed, and everything that they built got wiped out overnight. They were sold the industrial dream. Move to the city, get a factory job, follow the booming economy, and you'll build something solid. The message was clear. If you worked hard and you stayed in line, you'd be okay. But what they got instead was World War I, a global pandemic with the Spanish flu, an economic collapse by the Great Depression. By the time the Depression hit, they were either in their prime or already aging out. With no pensions, no savings, and no safety nets, growing old just meant growing desperate. Retirement was a fairy tale. Most people worked until their bodies gave out. If they couldn't, they moved in with their kids, if their kids could help. If not, they just kind of disappeared into poverty. And when you see how many people today are getting pushed out with nothing, no savings, no pension, no fallback, it's hard not to wonder if we really ever learned anything.